Good afternoon and welcome once again to Who's Right. I'm Sandra McFadden and today we have a wonderful guest, First Lady Tonette Walker of Wisconsin. And we're delighted to have you here and be a guest of yours in the mansion today, Tonette. We're just so happy to be here with you. I went to the inaugural breakfast, and while at that breakfast, everyone received a book, The Cross and the Switchblade by David Wilkerson.
Right.
And I was impressed by it. I read the book, and I was really wondering how you got involved with the book and what you got out of it and what your involvement with the Teen Challenge Center is from the book. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, I actually got involved with Teen Challenge way before I read the book. I was asked by their executive director when my husband was working as the county executive in Milwaukee. I was asked to come and participate in a graduation ceremony for the Women Center there in Milwaukee. And I went and I met some of the women and I saw the program, and that was it. I was hooked, and I am very proud to be part of the organization and help them further their cause and to bring awareness to the state of Wisconsin about Teen Challenge.
I see. So how long has that been that you've been involved with them?
Well, it's almost a year. I think I was there in
Really?
July. So it was a natural fit for me when I became the First Lady, that one of my initiatives should be Teen Challenge.
I see. And so in what way do you work with them in getting involved?
Well, we're in the process of figuring all that out because as First Lady, I hope to be able to bring awareness all over the state and possibly double the participation of the residents at Teen Challenge, both men and women. We're trying to look at possibly furthering their awareness by having the opportunity to have women who have children be able to participate in the program. Those are just a few of the ideas. Nothing is set in stone yet. We're still working on that. We're still talking. In fact, they will be here again this Friday for us to do a little bit more brainstorming and see exactly how that's all going to look.
How many members do they have here?
Well, there are two. They have two homes, a men and a woman's residence in Milwaukee, and each of them can house, I'm not exactly sure how many the women can, but I believe the men can house 50 or 60 men at one time. So you're really not a member of the organization. They are an organization that provides rehab and rehabilitation, drug and rehab, alcohol rehabilitation for residents in Milwaukee County.
I know. When I read the book, I just called it the Little Book of Miracles because the way that they started out was absolutely miraculous. It really was. And I just can't believe that they've expanded worldwide the way that they have. And so it's a wonderful cause for you to be working with, and I wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you.
Because it should be known all over the state, and people should be participating in it as much as they can be. It's a wonderful, wonderful cause.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. The other thing that I know that you're very involved with is the American Lung Association. And can you tell us about your passion with that? Because it's something that you feel very strongly about, I know.
My father has COPD, which is chronic pulmonary obstruction disease, and it was a good fit for me when I worked actually at the American Lung Association in Milwaukee. It's a statewide organization, but our office was in Milwaukee. I just finished up an event with them last week. We had our O2 oxygen ball, and now as I move forward in the position that I'm in, I will be a consultant for the Lung Association.
Oh, really?
And help them again with their gala next year. So I have this kind of opportunity to be employed by them, but yet also volunteer for them and be connected to them. I love working there. I've enjoyed it. I've worked there for about 4 years. I've been in the nonprofit area. I worked for the Diabetes Association prior to working for the Lung Association. So it's been about almost 10 years in nonprofit.
Oh my gosh,
So.
that's really something. So what kind of projects do you get involved in? Because I know my friend Lee Gasper Galvin, she has invented an electric car, and I know when she told you about her electric car,
did.
you got so very excited. So
You know, we always
I'm
like,
like,
we always like to
this
hear
is
about
good.
about the environment in our lungs and healthy breathing,
Right.
and so of course that was exciting to hear about. I did hear about that. I did pass that down on to some folks at the Lung Association, and I'm sure that they'll be in contact with her, and hopefully, you know, who knows? Someday we'll be all have all electric cars.
Yes, which would be a great help. So are those the kind of projects that you're looking for in the future and wanting to get involved with and wanting to promote?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go. It's only been 3 months that you know I've been First Lady, so I'm not exactly sure
that's
where.
True.
It seems like longer than
It
that,
does,
but it's
doesn't
only
it?
been 3 months. And there's a wonderful Women's Advisory Council that is now looking into a few things for me and will be helping me make that decision, advising me on making that decision. Ultimately, I'll make that decision based on my passion and what I feel, that how I feel I can help. But right now, we're going to be rolling out something called Walk with Walker, which I will be walking all over the state and tying that to tourism and kind of tying some healthy eating tips and being healthy and going green and those kinds of things. So I'll be tying that all to tourism, and that we'll be rolling that out in June.
Oh,
so that'll be fun.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah,
well, we'll look forward to that. That's a great program, yes. And then I know, of course, here in the mansion, just managing this and operating it has got to be a monumental task.
Well,
but
it's a grand house, and it's big, and it takes a lot of people to run it. I actually only have a little portion in that. In fact, there's a wonderful executive residence director that runs it, and there's a chef, and there's someone who keeps it clean, and there's someone to do the gardening. So it really is an effort by a lot of people who love this home and take very good care of it.
that's wonderful. That's thankfully for that.
Yeah.
But I know that you use a lot of volunteers, and these volunteers are badly needed, their services. I know that you use the Republican Women of Dane County, and they volunteer on a regular basis to come in. And what do they do for you?
They do. I was able to reach out to the Dane County Republican women and ask them for their help. There's a lot of work to be done, and there's a lot of office work, and people are tied to the phone sometimes. So we have them come in, and they answer the phones. I'm sure they do just about anything we ask. I think I saw someone back there last week counting Easter eggs for our Easter egg hunt that's coming up this weekend. So I saw people back there doing that, and I know that they help the director here all the time with little projects. So we appreciate that so much. And when I reached out to them, they said yes right away, which I think is wonderful for us and for the state, that we could get this little group of women who made a commitment to us every single week and from here forward. So it's been wonderful.
That's great. That is so good. And they love volunteering. They love coming to the mansion and volunteering. So I'm sure you have a lot of them here that are showing up on a regular basis.
They do. They've made a commitment, and we really appreciate that.
That's great. Well, you know, as First Lady of Wisconsin, you are such a role model to so many people. You are, like it or not, this is what you do. And I think really especially to young women, young girls and young women, because they look up to you and they think, gee, I wonder if I could be the First Lady someday. I wonder if I would ever be a First Lady. And that is something that they aspire to. And how do you best see yourself giving them the inspiration to want to achieve a role like that?
My first thought when you said that was, I would actually tell them that they could be governor.
Oh,
I mean,
I love
it's
that.
nice to be First Lady. I love my role. don't get me wrong, but if
Yes.
I'm talking to a group of young ladies,
Yes.
I'm probably going to tell them that they can be whatever they want to be. And if they want to be first lady or if they want to be governor, I think if you be first lady, you've got to marry the right man. So that's why my first thing would be like, boy, you could be governor someday. So, but as
I
first
like that.
lady, being role model, you know, I just live my life, and you know, if that affects someone in the with them saying that they'd like to be like me, that, I mean, I'm humbled by that. To be honest with you, I can't even imagine that anyone would even say that. But really, I enjoy what I'm doing. I like what I'm doing. When people ask me if how do I feel about the role that I have, you know, I have friends that say I was born for this role. I love to entertain. I love to volunteer. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more. So I'm enjoying every minute of it.
The thing that's important is that you're using the role to better the state and to better the situation and the environment that we live in here in the state. And so even though you're not the governor, you are the first lady, and you're using that power for a good purpose.
Well, and I'd also like to think that people don't think that it's about me or about Scott. It's about the people of Wisconsin. So when we have something at the residence, or we're having a party or an event or a reception, it's not about us having a reception here. It's about us bringing in the people of Wisconsin, letting them enjoy this grand house, letting them feel exactly where their tax dollars are going, and really just being a part of it.
Right.
You know, it's not about Scott and I. Really.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that. Thank you so much for being with us today. It has been such a pleasure to get to know you. I know Scott, I've met him on the campaign trail many times, but to get to know you, it's just a pleasure.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us on Who's Right tonight. And remember, this is the show where you decide. So go to the website, who'sright.org, and let us know how you feel about the show. Thank you for being with us. Good evening.